everybody, welcome in. Good to see you. We are back with another episode of Split Screen Podcast. I'm joined by these three lovely gentlemen, like I always am. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. I'm going to go through it. I don't know who to start
Jordan,
with.
Jordan, real quick, if I may.
Sure.
This product I brought up last week. Let's start. How have you been? What have you been doing?
Man,
sir?
dude, warms my heart with me going first instead of last every time.
Yeah.
I am doing well, Dan. Thank you so much for starting that trend over, giving me the recognition as the showrunner here. I'm not trying to
respect,
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate it. But no, things have been well. I played a couple different video games recently. High Guard was one of them that I played 4 or 5 matches. That's kind of the recent hot topic going on with that game. But I had a good time, short and sweet. I don't really have a lot to say about it because 4 to 5 games or matches, if you will. 3v3. It's from people who made Titanfall and Apex. Those are 3 really good shooters. There's a potential, I think, with this game. It's a lot of fun. I played with randoms, so I think it would even be more fun with people I know. That's kind of a highlight for that. So I liked it. It was a good time. I don't think it's groundbreaking by any means, but I think it can exist, and I think it can have a fan base. You know what I mean? Well, other than that, just kind of going through it. Got myself back into football. Andy will probably talk about football, so let him do that. But I appreciate that, Dan. I'm going to throw it right back to you. How have you been? What have you been playing?
Hey, you know what? I appreciate you, man. I did not have success with High Guard. I was not able to launch it because of some settings issues, and I didn't feel like trying to mess with them.
Yeah, the secure boot is a little bit, if you're
TMP
not
2.0 and secure boot or whatever. Yeah, I'm not savvy enough to.
Yeah, I can understand that kind of puts people off. The Battlefield was the same way. Call of Duty was the same way as well. So that's why I've already had it done. So it's just you do it one time and that's usually it. But hopefully that doesn't become a trend.
Yeah, I unfortunately was unable to try that out with you. But been doing the Divinity Original Sin 2. You, me, and our friend Justin, we're working our way through that. Potentially looking at Baldur's Gate 3 if Justin's to be believed. And
what an offer, right? Why
I'm
wouldn't I finish it?
I'm down for it. Yeah, I'm down for that. We can do some dice rolls in that.
Our buddy, if he said by any wild, crazy situation where we complete where we complete Divinity Original Sin 2, it's a fairly decently long game. Together, he'll buy both of us a copy of Baldur's Gate 3. So I was like, well, I'm time to lock in because then I'm going to make him actually own up to that offer, right?
Yeah, I kind of feel like he said that because of I know you and him have attempted the game several times in the past and it just never finishes. So I think he thinks it's like, haha, we'll buy Baldur's Gate. Well,
that's
jokes on
angle.
him.
That makes sense.
Jokes on him. Even if we don't enjoy it, we're gonna finish.
Yeah, we're finishing it now. Yep, I've gone through the Fort Joy 3 or 4 different times and haven't gotten past that. That's basically Tutorial Island is what they call it. But I think we're having a really, really good time with it.
We do have a good mix, a good character like skill and party mix that helps. And obviously, you and Justin being through certain parts of it so many times, we've been able to kind of speed run some of the tedious things right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I actually, and I know I'm like late to the party, but on my Xbox, I did get into past the prologue and start of the Act 1 on Clear Obscure.
Oh, cool.
So, and I kind of just had stopped it there the other day. I haven't gotten a chance to sit back down with it, but
I would love to. Maybe one of these days we can get Justin on as well, because I know Andy, you're playing it currently. Dan, you're kind of playing it currently, and he is as well. I haven't had the chance to dive in quite yet. I started it, and then Black Myth took over for me. So I think that'd be cool to all have a conversation about it. That'd be neat.
And this is the game. This is the game that is just as good.
Dominated the Game Awards.
Right? Yeah. Right. Just as good. Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless you're Tom Phillips.
Yeah. Some people don't like it, but.
But yeah, so I've been kind of, like I said, just to branch a little bit, but trying to buckle down on Divinity 2 so we can actually get some good progress in that. Attempted to try High Guard, just unfortunately didn't happen. But other than that, doing well. Can I pick who we kick it over to next?
Sure. Yeah. I already know who it is.
I think we know where this is going to go. Yeah. John. Oh, throwing a curveball. All right. Thanks, John. Andy, now on to you. No, John, go ahead. How have you been, sir?
Hey, I've been well. It's been a good week. It is Royal Rumble week, in the WWE, coming to you live
Like 3
this
p.m.
Saturday.
3 p.m. Right?
Live this Saturday at 3 p.m. because it is being held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for the first time. So
Nothing
there's
like
that.
nothing like putting the warm up to the Super Bowl if for the wrestling world, right? The warm up, the not Super Bowl, but the thing closest to the Super Bowl, right in the afternoon instead of like highlight of the evening when everybody's not doing anything. You know what I mean? But I get it. Time differences, time zones, all that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do before dinner? I don't know. Watch a 3-hour pay-per-view.
It's the most fun one to watch though. The entire, WrestleMania is WrestleMania, but behind that, the Royal Rumble is always a fun one to watch. Last year it was in Indianapolis. We got stuff on the screen covering my face.
Whoops.
Last year the Rumble was in Indianapolis. My wife and we got to attend it. That was super fun, actually being in that environment, doing the countdown with the screen, hearing the buzzer go off and that couple seconds of silence, and then the music hits and it erupts and the pops and all that. It was so much fun. It was such a good time. And the Saudi people, they should enjoy it because it's a fun thing. But I do have my 2 predictions here for the men's and women's Rumble.
Oh, here we go.
He's been off camera for a while, so I'm thinking that he's going to come back at the Rumble, and this is the beginning of that rumored push for LA Knight. Somebody say it.
Yeah.
Somebody say
Is he still under? Is he still under? I thought he was still under contract with AEW. Or
AEW.
I thought I heard he went to AEW. I'm thinking of the other guy. What's his name? That he's the champion in AEW. He wears the same hairstyle. I can't think of his freaking name.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know who the champ is in AEW.
I don't either.
But I believe you.
I was thinking of MJF.
MJF is the AEW World Champion. Yeah,
I just they have the same the little mohawky look. Like I
got you. I understand. I got you.
Yeah. I mean, he does have that. Yeah. So I'm a believer. I'm a believer that this will be the time. That, the way they wrote him off TV, and this is gonna be it. He's gonna come back. He's gonna win. This is it. Or the safe bet is probably Roman Reigns.
Hey,
which I guess a lot of people are kind of getting behind it again. They're saying, hey, it's time for the tribal chief to come back.
It really is.
And restore order, restore order to the WWE and begin and reunite the family and you'll bring it all together and all that.
The Usos are tag champ, you know what I mean? They're in the tag division again, right? So come on, what are we doing?
Yeah,
let's get it. I
think it's our truths here.
Yeah, it is.
You got the Usos on the one end, and then on the other end you got the MFTs. You got Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga are the tag team champs over on SmackDown. So the rumor mill is talking about Roman Reigns reuniting everybody.
Let's go.
Everybody.
Will Paul Heyman come back to the?
He's too busy with the
division. I
don't
know about that one. I don't. Yeah, I think for now, never say never in wrestling, but for now, that bridge is well burnt.
Yeah. I agree.
But bridges they tear down to be rebuilt, and all the time in wrestling.
Yeah.
So that is my men's prediction. On the women's side, I've got a returning Paige coming back, shocking the world.
Interesting.
Saraya.
I don't know if she'll win it, but I have heard that she's there, that she's in Saudi, and she's medically cleared and all that. She medically retired from the WWE.
Yeah.
But
will she readopt Paige when she comes back? I know she's been Saraya everywhere.
Yeah, else. She will. Well, yeah, her real name, but yeah, she'll come back to WWE. She'll be Paige. I'm convinced that I'm 100% convinced that she'll come back as Paige.
Yeah, I agree.
AJ Lee and her back in the WWE at the same time. That was rivalry back.
I kind of feel like she had her
great return.
I feel like AJ Lee's kind of out now, right? Had her moment, and maybe it's not in there anymore. But I could be wrong.
Maybe that.
She came back. She had that quick program, got reestablished, and then she has been on a break.
Yeah.
I've heard she's getting ready to get her WrestleMania program started. So expect to see her at the Rumble too. The big rumors that it'll be her and Becky Lynch, settling what they started months ago. So it'll be. she'll come back, and her and Becky will get their program rolling. So whether that means Becky wins it, whether that means AJ wins it, I don't know. But
my thing is, when are they going to have Stone Cold come back and do his run again? Because I mean, we're overdue. No, I know he doesn't travel outside of his home state and all that.
Yeah. He does not travel. He lives in Nevada, and my understanding is he doesn't leave Nevada. So unless but WrestleMania is in Vegas.
Yeah, boy.
Hey,
I just you always get me with it. You always the glass shatter always is going to get a pop out of me.
that's true.
Yep.
Andy, how about you, my man?
Those are my picks.
I've been doing good. Trying to, stay warm. Feel like I've been inside for a week straight.
Yeah, man. Also the school stuff. I mean, the school stuff. 2 hour delay cancellation.
Crazy.
2 hour delay cancellation. 2 hour delay. You know what I mean? I just can't keep up.
I'm convinced that
I get it, guys. The kids, man, they're driving me nuts.
Right,
our school system, the system that our kids go to, they were hell bent on like just a 2 hour delay today because the kids need to be here so that we can give them their iPads.
Yeah.
So that now we're free and clear.
Yep. So then we can have a home day.
They were like that when we went there.
Crazy shit.
Oh
man.
god, it'd be fog where you couldn't even see 6 inches in front of your face, like 2 hour delay, and you're like, you can see 5 inches now.
Exactly.
On the bus.
Exactly.
But outside the cold, Andy,
we're all dealing with that. Been playing more Air Obscure Expedition 33. I just finished. Won't give any spoilers.
Andy, sorry, your audio cut out. What'd you say?
Repeat that. Go back. Yeah, you cut out for us for some reason.
I finished Act 1, and I'm at the beginning of Act 2.
Yeah, no spoilers.
So I'm right near the beginning of Act 2. I don't know. I'd have to see how long it says I've been playing it.
Now, are you actually
a decent amount of time?
Are you still enjoying it after Act 1, Andy?
Yeah, I am. I need to get further in there. At the very end of Act 1, some big things happen, so it kind of shakes it up a little bit.
Okay.
But I haven't played it for a couple days since this past weekend. But I've been having trouble putting it down. Once I've been picking it up, I haven't been wanting to put it down. Really fun stuff. I've been playing that. Love SKA. I don't know if you got there yet, Dan, but I'm sure you'll love SKA when you get there.
I don't remember all the character names.
He's flying through the cutscenes.
Well, he's it's you said you're just in Act 1.
I just got to the point, I just got to the island. The shit happened when you first get there, and then I paused it because I had played it and ended up needing to go to bed. I was like, oh shit, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I gotta go to bed.
You don't run into him till close to the end of Act 1.
Yeah, right now I know my guy, short girl, red hair, the black-eyed girl that you talk to, that drink with you. That's how I know people.
There it is.
Your sister, dead girl.
Dead girl.
Or I'm sorry, Gourmage girl or Gourmage girl.
Gourmage, the Gourmage.
And then fucking painter lady, painter
paintress.
Lady. Yes.
All right,
Lady Bob Ross.
Really enjoying that game. And yeah, we're still playing football. We are in season 4 of our dynasty. Jordan left and rejoined. And then he left and rejoined as a different team. A third different team. So he's been playing with us, but we're about 3/4 way through season 4.
Jordan retires at the end of the season again.
We'll see, dude. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too worried about it. What I did to explain is I rejoined as Florida because I was sick of playing users like 5 times in a season.
Crowded Big Ten.
Absolutely sick of it, right? Which is fine. Usually competition's fine, but I was just like, all right, I want to get to the playoff and then have to worry about this kind of a thing. Joined as Florida, and I was like, I don't really want to join as a somewhat established team. So I left, and then I went to the Yukon Huskies, and I'm currently second in the independents because there's only two, and Notre Dame is number one in the country. So it's so far it's
Which
a
user's
struggle.
Notre Dame?
What's that?
Which user's Notre Dame?
Nobody's Notre Dame.
Oh,
Nobody.
wow.
Yeah, I know, crazy. But yeah, UConn, we're struggle busting now. I kind of see how it feels to be, I guess, in Corey's shoe, even though he's more established than I am. But
Do you use like whatever UConn's playbook is? Do you show up at UConn and you're like, all right, UConn, let's run what you are, or do you bring
Eastern Kentucky?
Do you bring your own stuff?
so I went in. This is what I went into this one. I was like, this is going to be the most NFL pro style offense you've ever seen, right? So I am running a pro style offense with the pro style generic playbook. And that's not what they had. They had like the spread and they were running a 3-3-5 and that kind of stuff. So I was like, no, we're bringing back the fullback. We're bringing back the lead blocker. We're going to run the ball down your throat. We're going to play action to the tight end. That's what we're doing. That's who we are. That's our identity. So I've started fresh. That's what UConn is now, John. We are run first, play action, and then pass second or pass third, right? That's what we're doing. Right now, I do have a little bit of
football.
Yeah, I have a little bit of an issue because my quarterback is a pure runner, meaning he can't throw worth a shit.
Yep.
So we got to I've got to
Good
get an Andrew Luck type quarterback in there who's got a little bit of mobility, but also can really sling it in there if I need to, right? But we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll
Jordan,
get
I
there.
gotta say,
You got to sit
It's
down in
weird.
the living room with that recruit's house. You got to say, look, we got
Yeah.
a vision. You got
Yeah,
a lock.
that's right.
Here.
Yes, that's
We
right.
need you
Yes,
to come
yes.
here to stores, right? Stores, Connecticut.
Yeah,
I think
I
is
think
where,
so. Yeah.
where they're at. You know, we're gonna have you come in here. We're gonna have you come into the locker room. You are gonna be the leader of this place. You are gonna take us. Here's $1 million.
Yeah, here's a bag. Yeah, here's a bag. Good luck. Yeah.
Here's your bag.
it's crazy to hear you talk about the struggle bus, Jordan, because historically, this is the same person, mind you, that took Holy Cross to a NCAA
dude.
championship in basketball. Oral Roberts.
I do love it. I
You're
enjoy
the
that.
king of I'm gonna find the obscure no and we're gonna bring him to glory.
I think that's where the love for the Dark Souls games come from because I enjoy pain so much, right? I think that's what it is. I think it's just a love for pain and the
Sacred Heart.
Yeah,
Sacred Heart, you did too.
It's good stuff, man. Oh man.
You know what would be fun in we've talked before in Resident Evil, the Outbreak games. They were before their time,
Right.
And I just so badly wish that they could take Outbreak and do it in today's present environment because I think it would be better. I think it would be more successful. You know what else I think would be in that same vein? NFL head coach, but.
Yeah, NFL head coach, Jordan.
I'm thinking like an NCAA version of head coach, where in the days of now of NIL, and I'm give me the full simulator experience.
Yeah, the numbers, like every yeah.
Give me the simulator experience. Put me in a living room, having a conversation with
really like being in the living room,
with
man.
like some sim generated parents.
Yep. That'd be cool.
We're at the table eating dinner. We're eating steak and eggs and all that, and it's like,
Steak and eggs for dinner?
Yeah.
Listen,
Dr. Seuss.
Mrs. McGee, we want your son here at this university. Here's your bag.
Here's your bag. There's like you're like
Jordan,
all you are is a Charlie, like not the Charlie, the Charlie Brown teacher was like wah 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 wah. And then you bring up money and they're like, here's money. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Here's the money.
How much do you want to offer this player?
Yeah. All of it.
Yeah. And then Jordan, I'll let you get it and then just let me borrow it once you're done with it.
That's true.
There's no way that'll ever happen on an
Like
official
head coach,
capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Why
we'll
not?
see.
What step would be like, okay, because of this, there's no way. Probably the complicatedness of it first and foremost. If you undo the spider web of it.
Well, but even with head coach though. Yeah, even with head coach though, John, you could always figure out. Remember, we researched.
Yeah, we did.
We researched like the best things to do. Like, how do you start? Which ones do you start? Which ones? Because it was so many years after the game had been out, right? So
yeah,
it does work for soccer. Like they have Football Manager. That's pretty popular for
I agree.
a cult following.
Yeah,
Do we?
I think it would be a fun idea. The market is probably not a lot of people that would buy it, right?
There's a lot of fun ideas that that are great on paper, but then they just don't translate. And I'm not stupid. I don't think that would probably translate to a fun game, but on paper, it
doesn't
awesome.
shock me that you'd be jacked about this. This is the same person in the old NCAs who's like, I got to host my after game press conference and
immersion, man.
As we're all
That's
waiting, we're waiting to advance the week, and John's having fake press conferces in his fucking room.
Give me the full simulator experience. The game
Tubby Smith down at the barn, John.
Yeah.
You're sitting in the coach's office, and then they're like, "Hey, coach, it's time." All right, the media is ready for you, and then you go out
you
there
and simulation fantasies, man.
You get
More power
your
to
feet
you.
held to the coals, after a big loss. How are you going to respond?
Yep. What are you going to do? That would be
Most
fun.
people every year, they're like, oh, the physics are different and the running different. John's like, and you can't redesign the coach's office. I want to pick my desk.
Yeah, exactly. I want my office to be furnished, and I want to be able to furnish it. Oh man, good stuff.
Yep.
Man, that was quite the introduction to our whole thing. That's great.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. That's good. It is what it is.
Be a short episode, and we're just gonna banter.
And here we are. We're bantering. We do have some things to talk about. The first one is just general thoughts. Has everybody checked out, as a whole, the Xbox _ developer direct or developer _ direct?
Not all of it. I did see some stuff from it, but I didn't
know some of it.
All right. So I watched the entirety of it. But the highlight for me, I think Forza Horizon 6, no brainer. It's in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have drifting. That's going to be a big part of it. And at the end, there's a little bit of a teaser for like some of the different events.
Diesel shows up. And
some
he's
of the
like,
different
family, bro.
Yeah, some of the different events that they have like in those Forza games. Like they had Warthog missions, and they had some other things that were like, game related or adjacent. But since this one's in Japan, they had a giant mech, which come to find out was a Gundam, that they're going to have some of those cool events and those races and stuff, because I think that'll be really, really popular and really cool. But I think the biggest one for everybody across the board that was more on the line was Fable, right? From my understanding, Fable had a pretty strong showing at this. I think Playground Games was the highlight of this show, just because they are developing Forza Horizon 6, and they're also developing Fable, which is crazy. But I think Fable had a very, very strong showing for this. It got me very, very excited, even though I had pretty high hopes and I had a lot of confidence in them to perform and give out a good game. But after seeing a lot of the stuff, man, I'm kind of locked in at all the things
ready
you can
to
do.
chicken chase, dude.
Dude, chicken chaser all the way. There were some highlights.
Chopping wood, John.
Before I get into any of the details and stuff, Andy, kind of what was your takeaway? I'm assuming you saw Fable and got a lot of stuff from that. What were your thoughts on the direction they're headed?
I mean, I think they're more or less picking up where they left off. I mean, it seems to me that Playground Games is taking the best of Fable, the essence of Fable, and really just kind of going forward with it. So it looks to me like they absolutely know what they're doing, and I'm even more excited.
Good. I think so. John, or no, actually, Dan, you've seen some of it, right? You've kind of
I watched the little teaser trailer and the gameplay trailer. Yeah,
okay.
I was having a hard time kind of like trying to figure it out, because it's like it gives you such Fable vibes, but almost kind of Witcher. Like watching him walk around the town, like it was hard to kind of feel like it's Fable, but it gives me like the same feeling as several other large like games, like your Witcher, Sky or something, right? Like just kind of roaming in the detail. From what I heard, like, and you kind of mentioned it, like, right, like they have over 1,000 NPCs that were all individually, like, programmed and crafted.
Yep.
Like you said, you can everything. There's ways to like purchase or own everything. You've got your traditional Fable things, like I showed in the thing, the blacksmith, like perfect. You hit it for 20 coins, like the job.
That's John's shit right there.
So as Andy kind of said, like you're taking the memorable core elements, even down to those kind of small things, like the little side jobs,
right?
And like I think kind of like blending it with other feelings or elements or whatever of some of those other really big like memorable RPG games from the more modern era since the last Fable, right? Like all in one. Like I'm excited for it. I enjoyed all the other Fable games, and from 1 to 2 to 3, there was obviously notable changes in progression. It felt like growth in each one in terms of the mechanics and the everything. And it's like, it's just going to be exciting to see it now on a brand new, generation system with people that clearly, with what looks like attention and care put into it, without Peter Molyneux talking about trees that you cut it down, you come back, and that tree will be growing or whatever. And all this guy, like, great, cool, whatever. But, I'm excited about it because, with Elder Scrolls not coming out until I believe probably when your daughter is married and has grandchildren, and I'll be long dead. This is the next like RPG I'm looking forward to.
You'll be on your deathbed and they're like, and it's released. You're like,
that's gonna be my I'll be like, oh, since I'm dying, do I get like a Make-A-Wish? I wanted to play Elder Scrolls.
And Dan will die on the boot up screen.
Yeah, he was like, yes.
I'll get it. I'll get in the game in like VR, try my first hit of skooma or moon sugar, and die peacefully in real life.
The Oregon Trail all over again.
Yeah,
Dan.
it is.
Yeah.
John, did you have a chance to see any of it, and or have you caught up with any of the details on the Fable franchise? Of the
He
new
heard
stuff?
all he needed to. Blacksmithing and woodcutting. He's sold.
He's in.
That's all I need to know.
I can do a
That's
job.
all I need to know. No, I watched a video and it looks great. It looks great. 2026 graphics for this game. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, it looks
that
fantastic.
wood looks so real when it splits in half under his axe.
You can see the grain of the wood just coming apart in its little twists from the axe head. Just
posing for statues.
Right,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it just looks so good when that wood splits.
I do want to say some of the things that came out of this were a little, some have some people, but it's a new thing. Of course, you're going to have a crowd of people who are going to shit on stuff just because that's kind of their personality of what they do on the internet.
They got nothing better to do, and that's the type of lives that they live.
Because unfortunately, grifting is more profitable than just having a discussion and a conversation. But
their leader is Tom Phillips.
But I think here's what I think is I think that they did get rid of from what we know now, how like if you made a lot of your good choices or went towards that direction of being good, right? You started to become, I think it was a halo or wings. I can't remember. Maybe it was a halo that you started to gain over time as it went on. My character always had devil horns. That's just the way it happens. I made a lot of those bad choices. It just seems to be. But one thing they did point out is they said they're trying to do that intentionally because they want. Not every decision is good or bad because usually you're progressing one way. You're going to then commit and make those choices as you go. So this allows you freedom to be like, well, I kind of want to do this way, but that's a bad choice. So I'm just going to make the good choice anyways. They're doing away with that, which is going to be cool. So it's kind of like a meter versus one or the other, which is going to be really fun. I think really cool. Just add some difference.
It's kind of like, is it like a little bit of in the vein of Red Dead, right? With the high honor, low honor.
Possibly. Yeah, I think so. But I think that was more cut and dry than this is, right? This is going to be more of that.
Okay.
Is it more like Mass Effect where you're like
Paragon versus
Vanguard?
Yeah. Yep. I think that's probably more what it is. So then, if you're good, you're going to be interacted with differently throughout the town. If you're bad or have a certain reputation, right? Maybe you bought all of the stuff, all the different buildings and homes, and you're a landlord for the entire city. They are going to react to you differently because maybe you had to evict them. That person will then be evicted. And because like Dan said, these 1,000-ish NPCs live and breathe in this city. So whatever choices you make dictate what happens to that person next, right? And they're going to treat you however they say.
To explain to these people, hey, look, tariffs and all that, unfortunately we had to raise prices, we had to raise rent, so you guys just need to understand that that's the land we're living in now here in Fable. So
I think possibly, but maybe not. Maybe it's better to not have an explanation, but you can interact with them and they'll call you like a scumbag and you'll be like degenerate as you walk by and shit like that. So I think it'll be really cool to see kind of what they got.
Do they call you a scumbag and you can just be like, free?
I don't know if there's guns in this game, but
What do you got there, brother?
What do you got there, brother? That's right. That's true. But I think it'll be a good time. Fable had a strong showing for that. Which leads us into, I'm not going to hop to it later. I just want to talk about it now. But Andy, I'm assuming you're kind of the Double Fine guy, if you will, for this podcast. I enjoy their games, but I would say you're very much a Tim Schafer enthusiast, if you will. But they had a surprise game at that Xbox Direct, Developer Direct, and it was called Kiln, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically a pottery-based, brawler, party brawler is what they're calling it. This came from a really cool insight into the development style of Double Fine, which is they had I don't know if they called it a game jam or what they called it, but they had like a competition where everybody comes up with a game idea. They all pitch it. They all do all this stuff. Then everybody votes on that one to be the next one. So they're always working on something, right? And this was one of those winners of that competition at that studio, which I think is awesome, especially with Microsoft just letting Double Fine do Double Fine shit, right?
Double Fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
just leave them alone. They don't need to make you $1 billion. Leave them the fuck alone. And if you're going to do something with them, let them be free. That's all I got to say. Let them go. Don't shut it.
That's not how you get 30% return or 30% revenue growth.
They can
Jordan.
suck a bag. But let me read. This story comes from Game Rant. It is from
Tom
Dominic
Phillips?
Bosniak. What? Tom Phillips. Kiln is the next game from Double Fine Productions, revealed at the Xbox Developer Direct, described as an online multiplayer pottery party brawler. The upcoming title marks a somewhat unexpected venture for both Psychonauts developer and Xbox Game Studios family as a whole. Double Fine's most recently launched game, Keeper, a dreamlike platformer with a voiceless story starring a walking lighthouse, and its pelican-like friend, Keeper was released on Xbox Series X and S PC on October 17th. Barely 3 months later, the American studio has revealed its next project. So I kind of wanted to get your take, Andy. What did you think of that? Do you think it's a cool... do you just like that it exists? Is it something you're going to jump into? What's your take?
I feel like it's definitely something that I got to give a try to. I have to at least,
I like that.
give a chance to every Double Fine game. The games that they make are so unique, compared to everything else you see these days. I bought Keeper, haven't played it yet. But that's another one. You got Broken Age, which takes after their LucasArts origins with their point and click. Everything they make is just really, really special. And this is kind of a different avenue, for them. But when you have that internal vote and people are just kind of coming up with things on the fly, that's fantastic. You can come up with anything.
Yep.
It's not just like, oh, let's make Grim Fandango 2 or whatever the heck.
Right. Not forced to do something like that.
It's let's see what we can come up with. And I mean, this, you got a walking lighthouse, you have fighting pots, they had stacking, which is Russian stacking dolls. Like, they just come up with a game with anything. Like, it's just amazing. So yeah, definitely at least gonna give it a play. Excited to see more of it, or when that comes out. So yeah.
Yeah. This is not going to hit with the gun and ball crowd, right? And that gun and ball is, by the way, that's a new genre of gamer that I heard about, and I absolutely love it because it perfectly describes so many people that I know, right? That are like, yeah, I play video games. It's like, okay, what do you play? And no shot at them. It's cool. I hope everybody should play video games at once, but like, yeah, play Call of Duty and Madden. You're like, okay, you're a gun and ball you're a gun and ball gamer. Like, that's just what you are. That's okay. That is what it is. Right.
Yeah.
That's not going to hit with those kind of people, but it will hit, I think, with some of those, it is different for them. Multiplayer is always something you're like, ooh, is that going to work? Is it not going to work? But I mean,
Yeah.
how do you not trust this team, right? And what they come out with next
Exactly.
at all costs. I played Keeper a little bit myself. Not sure why I dropped it. I don't think there's any particular reason other than just got invested in something else. But it was a good time. It's artistic, it's cool, it's different. That's the most important thing. It doesn't have to be big,
Yes.
40-hour, 20-hour games. Sometimes 6 is okay. You know what I mean? And I think that's a lot more of these games should exist. But going on to the next one we've got here. We'll just get a reaction actually from everybody else here. Did everybody get a chance to check out the Super Mario Galaxy new trailer?
That's the Yoshi one, right?
Yeah, the Yoshi reveal.
Correct.
What, Dan? What are your? Actually, I'm gonna start with John.
John,
What is your thoughts on that new movie trailer?
it looks great. It looks great. I love Toad's line when he's like, "So we're just gonna, we just meet this dinosaur. We're just gonna let him join, huh?"
Yeah,
I love how sarcastic he is.
It's pretty fantastic.
I still can't believe that Toad is voiced by Keegan-Michael Key. Like I just
Not wild.
blows my mind
That wild,
voice
yeah.
is coming from him.
I assume that they auto tune his voice.
There's got to
kinda
be some filters
make,
on it for sure.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, filter or something.
Yeah. But it's a great choice for that. Just the attitude, I think, behind the voice, regardless of the changing the levels and altering the voice is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know my oldest daughter, she's super excited for Rosalina. So she can't wait for it.
So I was incorrect. I don't know if you remember maybe many episodes ago where I discussed how I thought what their plan was going to be. I didn't think Yoshi was going to be in this. I really didn't. I thought they were going to go kind of, Super Mario. They had the Super Mario Brothers, the first one, right? The first movie. And then they went into the Mario Galaxy. I thought, okay, Mario Galaxy, they're just going to do their thing. Rosalina, too many characters at once. You don't want to do that, right?
Right.
And then I thought they were going to do Super Mario Brothers 2 because I thought they were going to create 2 different types of movies moving forward, right? So then you get Galaxy 2 after that one, and then it just goes through that. But I was incorrect. Looks like Yoshi's going to be in the next one, ready to go, which is very exciting. I think the voice was pretty cool. But yeah, we'll see. It looks fantastic. Dan, you kind of locked in for it as well, or what's your take?
I like that we saw the baby Mario and baby Luigi.
Yep, they were in there. Yep.
I forget the fish names, but the giant was show, I was like, yep, I remember those motherfuckers from the games. Like, no, I mean the first one again, they was really good. I think this is going to be equally good, right? They're just continuing to add and bring in characters that everybody likes. It's a movie that they try to be. All the movies, clearly try to. Stick to the well-established Mario, lore and world and things like that, but also don't take themselves too seriously, which I think is kind of the key, right? Yep. Like that little blue flame in the first one, or just whatever it was. The one was like just talking about how everybody's going to die and they're all going to be trapped.
Oh yeah,
that was Luma, who I'm sure is going to be in this one.
Yep, 100%.
That's the connection. Stole the show, right? Like it's like it's a Mario movie, and I'm like, that's the best character in the movie.
Yeah,
is that?
Yep, for sure. Andy, you're kind of locked into, or how do you feel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We probably mentioned this before when we talked about this movie. When it really comes down to it, black and white, the story of more or less all the Mario games are the same. Save the princess from Bowser in one way or another.
Not Dr. Mario.
And that's not mainline, Dan. Jesus. Not fucking Luigi's Mansion.
You're like,
either.
That's not the Mario Kart plot.
Yeah, that's beater. That's beater. That's sheller to death and win.
Don't cross Andy on the established Mario lore. You will put your feet in the coals.
That's obviously kind of what they did with the first one, although they kind of mixed it up a little bit. Now they're going a different direction, but they're also, really they're not sticking to one game. They got Mario Galaxy here, but you also brought in Yoshi for the first time. You saw them wearing the sombreros, which is a level in Odyssey. So they're really, mixing that up, which I think is a smart choice, so it doesn't get stale.
Right.
So
What do you think?
definitely.
Do you think you get any kind of indication of maybe it's too early? Maybe no. I think it would. I think it could have been doable. But the Wonder Seeds, right? Do you think those ever show up of like Mario, Mario Wonder, right? Do you think that ever comes to be?
Maybe. I don't know if they touch on that on this movie.
Maybe the next one.
Unless it's like something like a Easter egg type deal.
Yeah.
I could see them getting there eventually. I mean, they have the power ups. They're using fire flowers in this one.
Mm-hmm.
We need
and
Paper
essentially
Mario.
The Wonder Seed is just a different kind of power up. So
Yeah, right.
they don't even have to.
That's a trippy one. That's a drug induced one.
About it.
I think Dan, speaking of Paper Mario, I think I would love to see it, but I don't know if you save that one, right? Maybe it's like they go through a tube, right? And then Paper Mario.
That's what I mean. Like a funny Easter egg. They go through a tube, they're briefly Paper Mario, and that'd be really. I love that
cool
game.
Too.
If it wasn't, I wish it wasn't so expensive to get. Like I love that game.
They're good, man. They're really good. Even
Mario,
the new ones.
They're all expensive.
Yeah, even the new one. Any Nintendo mainline is going to be never going to really lose its value, right? But yeah, good stuff. We're all looking forward to that. I think the release date was that April 1st. I think
they moved it up to Wednesday, April 1st, because
April 1st,
Easter weekend.
Why not? April Fools, and it's not going to come out that day.
I gotta move it up.
Very, very cool.
The most out of that.
Quick note here, Andy, you put this one on here. Topic here: does Dynasty Warriors 3 remaster has been delayed indefinitely? You put goated.
Who cares? Dynasty Warriors Gundam. Dynasty Warriors Gundam needs a remake.
Oh my God, get over it. Nobody.
No, I will not.
Not a big enough audience. Sorry, Dan. Jeez.
Oh yeah, Gundam just a huge mega franchise, and so is Dynasty Warriors.
Here we go.
But
no, John, I don't want to hear it. Mr. Resident Evil.
This game comes from Game Rant, this article comes from Game Rant as well, from Michael Brandon Ingram. Koei Tecmo upcoming Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered has been hit with a major delay. Pushed back from its previous March release date, the hack and slash franchise set the Three Kingdoms period Chinese history has become the staple for Koei Tecmo and Omega Force's library. With multitude of games across several major platforms, Dynasty Warriors has seen 10 main series games, with most games receiving both Empires and Extreme Legend enhanced versions. However, Koei Tecmo's next entry in the franchise looks to bring fans back to the classic game of the series. I'm trying to see here. Revealed in September 2025 that it was working on a fully remastered version of Dynasty Warriors 3 to celebrate the franchise's 25th anniversary. As far as why I'm going in here, let's see here. Bear with me. I don't think it really talks about the change. Message from the producer: as a first remaster of Dynasty Warriors series, in order to fully satisfy our fans, we have made the decision further to improve the quality of the game. So not a bad reason to delay it if you're going to improve on it, right? Just obviously a note there. Anything to add to that, Andy, for you, other than maybe some mild disappointment?
Yeah, mild disappointment. This is something that I'll definitely take a look at. Now, delayed indefinitely isn't a great sign. Something else we're going to talk about in a little bit was also delayed indefinitely, and that didn't end well. So we'll see what happens if it comes out and it's great, wonderful.
Right.
But 3 was definitely kind of peak. There are, after that, I feel like it was kind of repetitive, but as those games can be.
Yeah, right. What else do you introduce to them to kind of not be the same thing other than bigger,
giant mech robots?
Oh, there you go. Do fan service stuff for Dan over there. Jesus Christ.
I can't have anything. I don't get Elder Scrolls.
That's
I
right.
don't get Gundam.
Mm-hmm. Maybe pick better franchises. Yeah, maybe pick a better franchise.
Don't even with me, Andy.
Yeah, Dan, expand your horizons.
Play Madden, then you won't be disappointed. You'll get a new one every year.
Okay.
Yeah, every year.
You two are gonna come at me about expanding my game horizons. I don't want to hear it.
Hell yeah, this is what we do this for right here. This is it. Let them know.
2K.
Yeah.
NBA 2K.
Yeah, you'll get a new annual franchise there. That's what you need. There you go.
Mhm.
John,
Call
you
of
didn't
Duty.
even. John, I don't want to hear it from you. Especially, you didn't even know that Halo came out. That's a game, and you didn't even know that. I don't want to hear it from you.
Oh
Don't
boy.
come to me.
Go play Hot Arcite.
Just because I have played the most popular game ever,
Ever.
Corey in the House.
Oh my God. Corey in the House, coming back to it. Fucking Corey in the House. What an art. What a crazy story. What an absolute crazy. If you don't know what John keeps referencing, he's talking about Corey in the House almost becoming the number one user rated game
Ever.
on Metacritic.
We should overtake
all
that by
time.
getting dog football. We should start a movement to get Jerry Rice dog football as the number one most rated game.
Yep. I love it. Next talking point, game devs skipping GDC due to safety concerns. This one comes from Dominic, also from Game Rant. A number of game studios and executives say the plan to skip 2026 Game Developers Conference, which is GDC, citing safety concerns linked to heightened U.S. immigration scrutiny and ICE activity, among several other factors. As a result, this year's GDC could look markedly different from recent editions of the event. GDC is scheduled to take place between March 9th and 13th in San Francisco. The upcoming edition of the annual event has been rebranded as the GDC Festival of Gaming, with organizer Informa Festivals pitching it as a broadened ecosystem-wide B2B industry gathering. Organizers say the shift is informed by the community feedback and includes a simplified ticket structure aimed at making the show more accessible to smaller developers and independent studios compared to previous years, alongside a stronger emphasis on networking and cross-industry connections. Yeah, I mean, the temperature is definitely heightened in the US, I think, across the board, especially for people if they are planning to travel. I think outside of the country, maybe it is. Not sure if that's who the target is for those things, but even just being in the area or presence where a lot of that stuff is happening, I can understand the concerns there for that. So hopefully everybody stays safe, all that good stuff for that one, but we'll see what happens in general. I'm not going, so I couldn't report live, unfortunately, even though I'm holding a microphone. I would love to. That'd be really, really cool. But it sounds like this is not like an E3 where you just buy a ticket and you go. This sounds like you got to register and be a developer of some sort.
Can.
Yeah. Oh, this year you can? Is that what they're doing? Oh, no shit.
You've always been able to buy tickets to GDC.
No shit.
A lot of people just get waivers or passes or whatever because they're a student or they're a developer or something like that.
Gotcha.
I bought tickets. The last year or two that I went, which it's been probably over a decade now since I've been to one. But yeah, you can buy a ticket. I was going to try to do networking and whatnot, and the thing is, it wasn't really cheap even for that time, 10 plus years ago. So I think that's a good call by them to try to attract those smaller developers, because maybe those smaller developers just didn't feel like it was worth it.
Right. I think you're right. Why not include more people? That seems like a great idea, especially we've talked about it, the direction the industry's going. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. More towards the artistic, smaller teams and showing what everybody can do versus, even playing field and that kind of stuff. So I agree. It should be great. Excuse me. My goodness. Next on the list, John, you talked about wrestling already. We've already talked about the WWE.
Do you love me? Do you love me? The wrestling.
We have talked about it a little bit. You are still trying to get me to buy the next one.
Don't do it.
I'm trying.
I
know Dan won't because Dan has a very small library of games that he plays.
John, I'm going to compile drive you. I'm going to compile drive you for real into the ground in front of your wife and your kids.
Oh my gosh! So you're like, oh my gosh! And get him.
Pile on.
Andy, don't even. I was all cool about you talking about Floyd. I remembered that. Remember, that's a connection we have. I was like, Floyd, yeah, we all know Floyd. Don't turn on me now.
Oh man. But this one
I did. Speaking of Floyd. Speaking of Floyd,
I am curious where this goes.
We did watch the Gabby's Dollhouse movie over the weekend.
Yeah. We saw it in
It was pretty-
theaters.
And
It was pretty cute.
Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. It was all right.
It was pretty cute.
Yeah.
so pretty cute and all right. All right, I'll take that's enough for me. So
Cool.
game
Cool,
rant
cool,
here.
John.
This article comes from Michael Brandon Ingram. WWE 2K26 officially reveals Monday Night War Edition. 2K26 has officially unveiled another new edition of the game players can pick up, revealing Monday Night War. Monday Night Roar. The Monday Night War edition of the annual wrestling franchise. This newest game from 2K looks to be bringing fans back to the late 90s and early 2000s with its upcoming release. See, if there's any time for Dan to buy something, it would be this, right? It would be this one.
And I still won't because
still
I only have my
talks-
small library of games.
Well, you still talk about, that's the best.
They're the best era, I think.
It's never going to get better. And you're right, I think, for us.
I don't
but-
think everything in it was obviously aged well and stuff, but I think
it
was-
was definitely not
there was
aged well.
a-
You're right.
there's never been anything like it because after that era, the WWE gobbled up a lot of its competition. Like there's just, so there
True.
wasn't
Very
that,
true.
that, back and forth type of thing. It's just everything's been in the WWE verse since then, in my opinion.
That's one layer of the onion. That's one petal of the rose, if you
Yeah.
will.
There's a lot of things I think that make it good, but I just think like that's why nothing can be like that again, because there's just things that don't exist to facilitate that anymore.
Right. I agree.
I mean, The
trying to
Godfather,
Creative.
you ain't gonna get a whole train anymore.
The creative freedom, the fact that it was a private company, now they're a public company, answering to shareholders. The list goes on.
Always comes back to that. I was trying to look to see if I could find an idea of what was included, but who knows? It's probably includes the season pass.
It's 2K. They're going to make 90 versions of the game and try to bilk every dollar out of somebody they can.
You're not wrong.
Last I saw, there's four different covers for this game. So like 4 different editions of it. You got the one with, the CM Punk version, and then you've got this Monday Night War edition with the cover being WWE superstars on the top and WCW superstars on the bottom, and then there's another one which is just like a blast picture of a bunch of Attitude Era superstars, and then a new one came out with Triple H on the cover, the game edition.
Well, that's crazy.
Everybody's roasting it because they're like, "Gee, when you run a company and decide to put yourself on."
Yeah, it's like me. It's like me putting myself as the thumbnail for this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be like it's just me and then holding something up. Like, what are we doing?
That'd be like every game on Steam is just a picture of Gabe Newell as the thumbnail.
Yeah. So for now and probably the next couple of weeks, it's going to be really probably roster focused, revealing who is going to be in this game. They're touting it as the biggest roster ever. That's always that's always the big hook. The hook that brings you in. Oh, you got this person. And then as we get closer, then start learning about some of the actual meat of the game. To hopefully bring it home.
They got the Godwins. Can I be Phineas Godwin, John?
I mean, they were Attitude Era superstars, so I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Henry O and Phineas I.
There's no details on what is included on any of them currently.
Right.
So
right.
VC.
As we've stated before, our personal play styles unfortunately don't seem to be the focus.
Right.
What we want.
We do like the
doesn't
showcase.
appear to be.
We thoroughly enjoy the showcase stuff.
Yeah.
Really do.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is
fun.
going to be hopefully a big part of it because that's a lot of history to go over, right? Late 90s into the 2000s, that whole era. So
and,
cool.
the CM Punk showcase, it'll be fun to see how they there's gonna be that 10-year gap. Wonder what happened.
Yeah, they just paint him as like some shitbag. That'd be hilarious. But then he's like, "What the fuck?"
and then
they're like,
left.
Went to the UFC to embarrass himself, and then went to the
They're like, I didn't approve of any of this.
Plays him in a UFC fight.
Yeah, his walkout video just immediately out in his UFC fight.
Which I will say, as on this day, we're recording this episode on January 27th, and 12 years ago, January 27th, 2014, we were there at Raw.
Was that an indie?
It was the day after the Royal Rumble, and CM Punk walked out
Oh,
12 years ago.
damn.
What was that? Made me think.
So
Do you remember when you
the Royal
guys-
Rumble was the previous night? CM Punk was eliminated by Kane, in a BS fashion. This was arguably voted as one of the worst Rumbles of all time because of the Daniel Bryan debacle. The countdown for number 30. Everybody's like, it's going to be Daniel Bryan. It's going to be Daniel Bryan. And Rey Mysterio's music hits, and the Boo Birds just lit Rey Mysterio up to no fault of his own. He just wasn't Daniel Bryan. And Roman Reigns got second. That was the Batista Rumble. Batista won the Rumble.
belly button?
And then the next night for Raw in Cleveland, right? Cleveland was where we were there.
I think so.
We were there for that Raw.
Yeah.
And CM Punk was not there. You and I, Jordan, were wearing our CM Punk t-shirts, and he wasn't there.
The white and black ones, right?
I had the yellow.
Oh,
do you guys? I was
GTS.
meaning to ask.
the
Do you
GTS
remember when
shirts.
there was a show in Indy, and I ended up going down there with the radio station, and I saw you guys. You guys had seats down on the floor,
Yep.
and I was
The
up
Raw-
with,
the
in the
Raw
stands
Indy.
because it was when Paul Bear. There was multiple appearances, brief
Yes.
interludes of the Undertaker
Yeah.
with that one.
Yep.
That was a really good one.
I've forgotten all about that.
And,
until you started talking. I was
Tyler
like, I
was with
remember
us for that one.
Yeah, you guys were down like right by the ramp, and I was up in the
Yeah.
regular seating.
Sheesh. Man, never
You remember,
today. Those prices. Pff, nope, I ain't sitting there ever again.
I went for free.
Yeah,
went
I know,
for free.
right?
I went for free with my job.
Do you remember We the People?
Yes, I remember that gentleman.
Zeb Coulter.
Zeb Coulter.
Let's see here. But yeah, 2K. We'll see, John. We'll keep picking at it. It comes out in March, so it probably comes out at a really good time where nothing else is coming out. But we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that something still you're going to be picking up?
God, I want to get it, but I don't want to be disappointed. And I gotta be mindful of the money that I spend. And so as much as I love it, as much as I love the wrestling games, am I going to get my money's worth out of it?
Hey,
Tell you what, John, for
Hey.
$20, I'll come over. I'll throw you around and smack you into some
There
stuff,
you
and you
go.
can have the real
there
experience.
you go. There
That's
you
right.
go. I was
it.
just looking at my March schedule, and it only seems to be movies except for 007 First Light. Did that get pushed out of March?
I think to May.
March just opened wide up. Look, it just opened wide open.
It's not video game related, but movie related. But I heard that Pierce Brosnan is got a little bit of an itch to reprise his role as elder James Bond, if you will. Come back as a new James Bond movie where you have the current Bond, but like he would
He mentors
they would
him or
call for
something?
help and yeah, something like that. And I'm behind that. I love Pierce
Best one,
Brosnan
Sean
as
Connery
Bond.
by far. Yes. Oh, James.
You can't call two people James Bond.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird, dude. I don't know how
I don't
Pierce
know.
Brosnan.
I don't know how
I
you
mean,
cross that bridge.
yeah, they're not doing the
It'd be
multiverse, from
the
my understanding.
The
Yeah,
Spider-Man meme.
yeah. You're like, wait, I'm 007, but you're an old 007.
This is how they introduced the James Bond multiverse,
But
guys. Come on.
technically, 007 died. Spoiler alert! In the Daniel Craig one.
This is Earth
Crazy
616
shit, man.
James
Wild,
Bond,
wild,
and this
wild
is
stuff.
different.
Who knows what they're going to be
Yeah.
doing there with that?
I think I don't think it's too late, but I think that they've missed the boat with I was holding out hope for an Idris Elba to come on.
Yeah, I think
as
that would've
Bond.
been cool.
I think he would have been a really good Bond.
He's too busy in Night City, dude. He's dealing with stuff there.
I'm going to be honest. I think they're going to go somebody younger because they can build off of that person. Like many movies, right? Many movies off of that, like they did with Daniel
Tom
Craig.
Holland.
Because Daniel Craig was much younger than he is when he did the last one. So,
Yeah.
Tom Holland, what the fuck?
They put him in he's like the one of the Hollywood it people now. They're like, put him in anything.
Yeah, get him in there.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, there you go.
Timothy
Right.
Chalamet.
No,
Chalamet.
he's busy. He's busy being the Duke of Arrakis. All right, they just started their holy war. He's got a lot going on.
Start up a poll. Who do you believe is going to be the next James Bond? Comment down below.
I'll give you one I've got right. This kind of went away from wrestling. But I did mention 007,
Roman
so it
Reigns.
kind of we're Roman Reigns 007. No, I do think Jacob Elordi. Do you know who I'm talking about? He
sounds super familiar.
plays Frankenstein in the
Yep,
Guillermo
I know who you're talking about
del
now.
Toro's. He's a younger British kid. I think he would do really, really good as a James Bond. I haven't seen him in much action stuff, but I think he'll knock it out of the park. Why not?
Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
John
Here we
Wick.
go.
John Wick retires from under the table to become a spy.
John
He was in
007
that
Wick.
Saltburn movie.
Saltburn?
That's why he faked his death. That's why he faked his death in the last movie. That's going to be a spoiler. He faked it so he could go back to doing spy work.
Jesus Christ. Last but not least on the docket here, some disappointing stuff.
What's happening?
Prince of Persia remake no longer happening for those who may or may not have heard about that. Sands of Time, one I was really, really looking forward to, but I also didn't let my hopes get too high because it is a Ubisoft game and they don't know how to make video games and release anything that's not a
Or
sequel.
run a business.
So
You hear Ubisoft and you're just like, I'm not going to hold my breath.
yeah, it's like, oh, I hope that comes out. It won't, but I
Yeah.
hope it does. I hope it does. I mean, if it's not Far Cry, Rainbow Six,
They
what
couldn't
else
figure
do
out how
they
to do
do?
microtransactions.
Yeah, no,
in
they
a
don't.
Prince of Persia.
They
The
don't need to.
Division.
They don't need to. Oh, if they, the Division 2. Anyways, but Prince of Persia remake studio issues statement after Ubisoft cancels the game. Comes from Matt Anderson over at Game Rant. Ubisoft has released a statement regarding the cancellation of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, announced all the way back in 2020. Ubisoft's remake of the iconic Prince of Persia title has been on a rather bumpy path up to this point. Initially set for a release January 21st, 2021. Wow. The publisher chose to delay that project until March 18th in response to fan backlash, as gamers criticized the visuals for looking dated, even despite using the latest version of Ubisoft Anvil engine. However, just a month before its March release, Ubisoft decided to postpone the game indefinitely, and it would ultimately switch development studios, the Ubisoft Montreal taking over development of the Ubisoft Mumbai, despite numerous assurances that the game was progressing, including the publisher's announcement of a planned 2026 release at Ubisoft Forward event. Ubisoft announced Prince of Persia Remake's cancellation this month. The Sands of Time is just one of 6 titles Ubisoft has canceled this year as part of a rapidly growing list of games the publisher has canceled in the last several years. They also mentioned a complete restructuring of Ubisoft from top to bottom. So that sucks because I can only imagine what those other titles were.
There's a lot of rumor. One of them was the Black Flag remake, which is really upsetting.
That would be a little disappointing, but if any of them have the name Splinter Cell on them, I am going to eat my foot. Right?
I've heard it was a Division title. I've heard the big names that come out was the next like console based Division thing, because I know they have the mobile whatever. The Black Flag remake, Prince of Persia, or the big obviously Prince of Persia, but the other two I hear a lot are Division and that Black Flag remake.
That would suck. But yeah, it does say believed to be one of the titles that has been delayed, not necessarily canceled. That's the Black Flag one. So either way, things could change on a day-to-day basis. They also did note that Beyond Good and Evil is still going to be in development.
Wow.
Which is wild. Which is wild because that game has literally been in development for 20 years, like a decade almost. That's crazy shit. But
it's got to be over a decade now.
I think just Ubisoft's got to figure the shit out, right? They got to get it all sorts of figured out. They had a game come out. I think it was The Lost Crown. Positive reviews came out really well received from people. But the numbers that Ubisoft expected it to make were way higher than what it was going to make. And they said it wasn't a success. And that's a crazy thing to say.
You know how much Ubisoft stock is going for right now? It's actually up. Earlier, it was less than $1.
What can you check to see like I don't know the last 3 months?
I can see it gives me the last month. It was at $1.43, peaked at $1.54, and is now at $1. In the last 5 years, it's dropped from a $20 per share price to sub at $1.
Wow.
That's That's not great.
And
If
here's
you're, for
my- and here's
anybody
my
out
thing,
there on
in
the
5
in trading,
What they so that you have to look then too. I think with stuff like that and the decisions they make. So it's like, okay, a lot of it people have chalked up to, well, they got, they're just doing this to make money for shareholders, whatever. Well, they're not doing that clearly. So what the hell are you doing?
yeah, which is prompting a restructure. But I feel like Ubisoft has been, well, they've also been trying to sell, I think, for a long time, or that was up in the air of selling to somebody in general or getting it out of the family name or whatever. So who knows what they're doing? Hopefully they get it figured out, because they have a ton of IPs that are really important to me and near and dear to my heart. So hopefully they get something figured out, because not just for me enjoying those games, but also the people that work for that entire company and getting a job and something to work for.
Maybe Saudi Arabia will buy Ubisoft too.
No, for fuck's sake. Also, FTC, but somebody is urging the FTC to look into the sale of EA to Saudi Arabia, by the way. But
yeah,
they're never successful on the things that they look into. So
the president's son-in-law is one of the buyers. You think the FTC is going to look into it? I don't believe
they might look at it and be like, nah.
Sure.
They're like, nah, we don't want to mess with that. Anything else from you, lovely gentlemen, for this week's episode? Anything hot takes? I do have a hot take. Maybe this will spark a conversation. But we all know who Hideo Kojima is, right? John, do you know who that is?
Give me 5 seconds.
Okay, that's fine.
Nope.
You can go ahead.
Metal
and do
Gear
it.
Solid. I don't want
He's
him
a
to
Japanese video game designer,
Yeah, well, highly regarded.
writer,
and-
director,
and-
producer, and internet personality. Best known for the Metal Gear franchise and Death Stranding.
Yes. Had a falling out with Konami at some point. So he's made some, his games are, they've been around for a
Unique.
while. But
Okay.
I have come to the understanding that I don't think by any means a Kojima guy. I'm just not. I can't play his games. I don't enjoy when I hop into them. But I also know a lot of people who are. So this kind of brings that point of like, not my play style, even though I'm probably in the minority of people. Maybe not the minority, because video games are very broad now. But for people who have played his games and people who have, I'm definitely the minority of people who enjoy them versus don't. So that's not, I don't know if that's a hot take. That's more of just an opinion of where I'm at in the gaming, threshold, if you will, but just not my cup of tea, man. I watched my wife play through Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater Delta or whatever, but it's basically 3, right? Metal Gear 3. That's the new one.
3.
And I watched some of the characters like Ocelot and just meowing the whole time and then flipping his guns for 45 minutes. Right. And then some of the other characters to the main villain or boss in that game, just electrifying himself and like grabbing him by the crotch. And then he swipes his hand away and then he grabs him by the crotch again. And he's like, who are you? And it's like, what are we doing? I was just like, what are we doing? And like, there's a guy who controls wasps and like, you have to fight him. And it's like, what also are we doing? So I can't ever just get into it because I'm too busy judging the characters I'm looking at. Right. I'm just like, I can't get in it because this is so batshit crazy.
Weird. Yeah.
But that's my 2
like
cents.
Senator Armstrong in the one game where he's just like rips it like the Hulk. He's like, I'm a U.S. senator.
I think isn't
like,
that what is it? Revengeance or whatever it is.
Or whatever. Yeah, it's just bizarre. It's just like,
yeah, dude.
He
it's
just
crazy.
hulks out. And he's like, yeah, senator by day, super villain, superhuman by night. Like
absolutely crazy shit, right? So I was watching it.
It's
and
a convoluted plot, to be honest.
Yeah,
games.
You have to pay attention. You have to be locked in. But it's just not my thing.
Metal Gear Solid, I loved Metal Gear Solid. After that, I'm like, oh, okay. It started getting away from me rapidly.
Yeah,
and what I remember of Metal Gear Solid is hiding in under a box. Cardboard box. And I remember that if you punch Meryl and hide under it, her dog would pee on it.
Yeah. Well,
all I remember.
I had this. I had this discussion with Justin, our friend that we've already talked about. But I watched him play Metal Gear Solid 4, and it was basically a movie with some interactable shit in between a movie, like a cutscene movie. And it's like that is
scenes are so long.
That is so crazy for me.
And like Death Stranding, I've never played it, but like you ask just a general person if you like based on any trailer, like what do you think the game's about? And I guarantee they're like, I don't have any fucking idea. There's a baby and a guy walking a lot. Like,
Yeah, right.
Nor the walking guy from The Walking Dead is wandering around with a baby in a jar.
Yeah, dude. It's so yeah, it's so crazy, man. But I mean, people dig it. That's fine. It's just not my cup of tea. I think maybe it's too much brain power required for me to wrap my head around some of those characters. But that's kind of my going away message for this episode, I think. So
too many people named Snake something too.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's I do give him I do give him credit because what he does is he names his characters exactly based on what they look like. Because I was watching somebody play Death Stranding 2, and literally they got introduced to a character, and it's a talking doll. Yes, it is. But guess what that character's name is?
Talk doll? I don't know.
Doll Man.
Dolly.
Of course it's Doll Man. Doll Man. That's just what it is.
Oh, the ninja, right? Isn't the Cyber Ninja called like Cyber Ninja or something like that?
This is from Death Stranding 2. But he's called Doll Man, and it's a doll. And it looks like a puppet. Yeah, but it's just like, of course your name is that. Oh, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's fun. I'm glad they exist for everybody else. I'm never ever going to say, hey, these games shouldn't exist. Don't go have fun. You shouldn't be playing them because I don't like them. But
it's like the superhero, like obscure superheroes. Like, who's this? Calendar Man. Literally a guy with calendars on him. Like, you're like, yep.
Polka dot man. You're like, oh, you are white suit with polka dots on yourself. Like, yeah. What do you do? Yeah, exactly.
Squirrel girl. Oh, it's a girl with squirrel tail.
Yeah, it looks like a squirrel. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean?
The name is a description of what you are.
Superman.
Oh, man.
You're like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? But,
Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, it just
not to be confused with Man Bat.
And maybe that's the point, right? Simplifying it. Because if he looks like a doll and you're like, who's that Doll Man character? And you're like, oh, it's Doll Man. You're like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, who's that Doll Man character? Doll Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, though that Doll Man character. No, Doll Man.
Doll Man.
Yeah. So I think that's fantastic.
Oh, I thought it was Man Doll.
But I appreciate you boys. Thanks so much for the conversation today. If you stuck around watching to the end of this episode, thank you so much. And then hopefully we'll see you guys on the next one. Who knows what we'll have to chat about. This one we bantered quite a bit just because the topics weren't plentiful like they are usually. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.